Hello, this is Ben, also known as the Entire Metalhead on Instagram and Flickr, and I have another two vlogs to show you guys. One on the left is from a year or so ago. The one on the right is my most recent one. And figured this would show some progression that I've had over the past year. So let's start with the older one. So this rhino guy, he is basically the first thing I made was a torso with all of these Hero Factory feet, and I kept the torso as it was for about a year. It was just sitting in a shelf by itself, and then I finally got it out and continued making it. But these feet, they're just strung together with some rigid tubing, so they can sort of expand and pop apart, especially the upper torso from the rest, just because it's only connected with tubes and yeah. And throughout the mock, there are these bright, sort of apple green highlights, which I thought looked really good with the bright green. So let's go down to the feet. The feet, I had to take off some pieces just to use on other things, because I have several things that need some silver. They're simple, and they don't look particularly good, but I couldn't think of any other way to keep him very stable. The lower legs are pretty interesting. You can see there's this breakout armor paired with a 2015 add-on. It gives a nice angled shape. This also has some of that bright apple green, transparent apple green on it as well. And these aren't connected to anything, they're just stuck there. They're connected to each other. And then you need to get the other apple green slow piece for that. I just haven't had the ability to do that. Overall, it gives a nice the armor and the translucence gives it a nice bulky shape. Base / upper legs, more of the bright green just underneath there, and then these data looking shields. The add-ons and the feet work really well together if you want to get a nice shape. Then again, there are these open sockets, but I couldn't figure out how to solve those. His waist is two Onua claws as sort of bulking and some breakout armor. And this leg's falling off really easily because it's held on by two Technic connections instead of the armor connection, so it's easier to fall off that way. Probably the most interesting thing is the arms. I'm going to be right back and show you those. Okay, so here's the arm. It's again fairly simple, but there are some techniques that I used here that are pretty interesting. The upper arm is just the shell with an add-on on a long Hero Factory bone. But the elbow, as you can see, it has the uniter piece. and it's basically stuck around a medium-sized, well, a 3 long bone. So it wiggles around a little bit, but otherwise it's fairly good. The forearms, I used a claw piece and a flick fire missile to connect it to the armor, and it's fairly stable. And then on the bottom you can see this armor piece actually isn't held in by anything other than just the tight fit that this round tile gives to it. And the hands, they're an upside down protector foot, and these click hinges, and then a pin fits nicely inside this hole right here, which allows me to put this bow rock eye in. And then just these are for detail. So overall, the arms are probably the most, they have the most techniques in them on this build. The last thing I worked on was head, which is where the name comes from. I couldn't think of an actual name. I'm not very good at that. But it was the last thing I built, and I had limited silver pieces left, and these pieces just were a good size, and I thought I could use them for something. I tried using them as a mouth, as a sort of a chin mouth guard thing, but that didn't work. Finally, I came up with this. It doesn't look the best, especially from the top, but it does give a nice shape to it. Overall, I'm fairly happy with how this guy came out. I'll have a link in the description for more pictures of him, just to give a better idea of how he looks as a whole. And we'll move on to the next one. So here's the next one. This one I built about a week ago. And it was an experiment with sort of more an asymmetrical approach, though there isn't very much asymmetry, mainly in the arms and the wings. The rest is just symmetrical as it is. You can see. I started off with the torso, basically by connecting these two ribcage shells together in that angle, and figured out how to base the rest of it off of it. That being said, the torso is my favorite part of it. It has really nice shaping, really nice detail. These claw pieces bring the ribcage forward a bit and to the front, and then these armor add-on pieces also add some pretty nice shaping. Again, with me using fragile system connections. On the back is some system greebling, just to add some more detail and to shape it out. There's a mixel joint on this wing, at the base of this wing, so it can pose really easily, and 2 click joints as well to help with that. Moving down to the upper legs, I use this Knight's Kingdom armor. Usually wouldn't use it on upper legs, but it just fit well. The back is very bare, and it doesn't have much. I started running out of black pieces again, and that leads to the issue with the lower legs. These have quite weird texture compared to the rest. Very ribbed, while the rest there's only slight ribbing on like this piece and at his waist. It fit somewhat, but I would prefer a smoother texture to match with the rest. I'll be changing those out eventually. The arms, one's just like half of my transparent purple bones put together, and also that one transparent flame piece I have. I wish I had more of those. As well as these teeth pieces to give some extra texture. I guess they do some sort of resemble the two wings that are on his other half. The other arm is very bulky, and there are a lot of things for it. There are these tires to sort of give it the correct proportions to make it look okay and decent. And then there are some hints of purple throughout this arm as well, to sort of not have it completely unbalanced, sort of try and hit that sweet spot. The chest, I kind of wish I had a spare one in that was just blank. I don't like removing prints on most things unless I have like 6 of the same piece with the same print. Then I'll remove a couple. If I had it in just plain black, I would use that, and no other pieces really worked with it. So he does look a lot like Quake Beast because of the chest plate and the one purple arm, but that's sort of just a coincidence. The face is just blank because I need something to lean forward a bit and a face to go forward a bit and make him look a bit more hunchbacked than most of my stuff is. And no forward-facing mask really looked good on him. And then he has these little horns just to make the pieces I used to fill up the side of his head less awkward. Yeah, so I'm more careful now than I was with using Technic. If you look at some of my older stuff, they're very Technic heavy, but now I use more armor pieces and just make a frame to put stuff on and try and get the correct shaping. There's still some things I need to work on, such as layering, and I guess I've been doing pretty good with color blocking lately, but mainly layering and also coming up with a concept beforehand to make it make something that's supposed to be less robotic look less robotic, so it looks like if someone's wearing clothes, it actually looks like that instead of just having general coloring. So hopefully over the next week or so I'll show you guys something else. If you have any comments, leave them below. Any suggestions on what type of thing you would like to see reviewed next. I've built quite a few things that I haven't shown on video. So I'll see you guys next time. Hello, kitty. Hello, Zizu. Why'd you jump up here and knock down everything? Please get down. You can live without attention for a few seconds. Ninja. Come on. Down.